Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Lam here. In today's Fuji Friday, we're going to be taking a look at two 16mm lenses that I love to do for these type of talking head videos. This is a very common video format that we see on YouTube and also in a lot of interviews. So the two lenses that I'm going to be talking about is the 16mm f1.4. This is my tried and true baby that I've been using on Fuji Fridays forever now, probably going on a year and a half. And then I have this one right here. This is the 16mm f2.8. This is the more compact, more affordable, smaller brother to the 16mm. Just recently picked this up because it was a good bargain and I just can't resist a good bargain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try both. So this is the usual image that you're used to seeing for Fuji Friday. So I have it set at f2.8. ISO is at 640 and it's at 1/60th of a second. So this is the image quality that you expect to see. I have a light strip on this side and then I have a hair light right up top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, fiddle around with this 16mm f2.8, see where I like it, and then we're going to transition over to it, and then you can kind of compare and contrast the two lenses. So let me go ahead and just put this one on. I've already tried a few settings, so I think I kind of know which one I'd like to show you, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Alright, so I went ahead and I switched out the f1.4 with the f2.8, and right now what I'm recording it at is at f3.6 at 1000 ISO, 1/60th of a second. I've been playing around with whether or not I wanted to use f2.8, f3.2, or f3.6, and it's a really close one between f3.2 and f3.6, but I do like the image a little bit better with the f3.6, and I also like the lighting. I did have to go up to ISO 1000, but for this type of camera system, until you hit 1600, it really isn't that big of a deal. So I do like the image quality coming off of this one. It's very comparable to what I think I'm getting out of the f1.4 for this type of scenario. Keep in mind that lighting is a big part of what you're going to perceive in image quality. So it's really a lot of playing around with the camera lens, the f-stop, and also the lighting that I have here, because you do have to adjust all of it. And this is just one scenario in which it's very pleasing for me when I take a look at it. But definitely let me know what you think. Do you like this one, or do you like the f1.4 that you've been seeing on my Fuji Fridays for a very long time now? Now, I know a lot of you are probably wondering what it looks like at f2.8, so I'll definitely give it a try. But I'm just showing you what my favorite settings are, which is at f3.6, 1000 ISO, 1/60th of a second. So let me go ahead and shut this off. I'm going to show it to you at what it is at f2.8, because everybody likes to shoot wide open. It's just how we are. So I'm going to show that to you right now. So this is the image quality that you get at f2.8. Right now I'm at ISO 640 and at 1/60th of a second. As I'm changing the apertures and also the ISO on this one, I'm also changing this light right here. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at my waveform and I'm trying to keep my waveforms consistent between all of the different aperture settings that I'm using. So you can kind of see in general what the quality of image is going to look like with the same amount of lighting that's actually coming off of this strip light right over here. The reason why I bring this up and why everybody likes to record and log is because it's very subjective, and sometimes you have to really get into post, look at it on a big screen, and then see how much lighting you actually want, or if you want to adjust the colors a little bit. It's a little bit hard to tell when you first start recording, especially on a small screen. So for me, a lot of times on Fuji Fridays, what you'll see is that when I actually move to this new area, my Fuji Fridays changed pretty muchly from episode to episode for 4 to 5 weeks, because I was trying different settings, different light setups, and then I was trying to figure out which one I liked the most. It definitely is a learning process. Every single time you get a new lens, you really got to go out there, just use it, even if it's on yourself, really look at the image and trying to figure out what you really like from that particular camera lens. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to my f1.4, give you some final thoughts on lighting, and then we can wrap this up. Alright, so I'm back on my 16mm f1.4. Right now I'm at f2.8. ISO of 6400 and 1/60th of a second, and this is about where I like it. I've already changed this light so many times, I'm probably going to be tweaking it for the next couple of weeks because of this video, but in general, this is my preferred setup. I've been using it for quite a while. I really don't see any reason to change, but I am really impressed with this 16mm f1.4. I think if you're really on a budget and you're trying to do some of this talking head videos and you want to use a Fujifilm's camera, definitely going with a 16 16mm f2.8 is a great lens, and it could save you potentially a lot of money. If I was a person that was just starting out a video, I really definitely don't have any problems at all using this lens instead of the 16mm f1.4. Now, one thing to note is that on the f1.4, I never use it at f1.4. The lowest I usually go is f2, because once you get a little bit too low, it really gets a little bit soft, and it's not something that I really like. So I definitely try to keep it at least a stop up, but that is definitely something that you want to experiment with on the f1.4. All I'm really saying here is that if you go with the smaller lens, you're really not losing out very much, and it is much more affordable. Of course, you can always get the f1.4 used, and it can go around $500. So you can get a really good price on the f1.4 because it's been out for quite a long time, and there are quite a few copies that you can always grab in the used market. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about before wrapping up this video is there's plenty of people that always email me or ask me what lens I'm using, what camera I'm using for Fuji Fridays, because they like the image quality, but I've never got the question, what is my light setup, what lights that I'm using? And this is just as important as the camera body or the lens. A lot of your image quality, or what you perceive as image quality, comes from the lighting you use. It takes a long time to learn what kind of lighting do you want. I take a huge amount of time setting up a hair light because my hair is so dark. So my hair light is something that I spend a lot of time on setting up. It adds a lot of texture and detail to the top of my head. Definitely also spend some time learning what type of lights you want to use, because there's all sorts of different lighting out there nowadays, and all of it nowadays is really affordable. So definitely spend some time looking at YouTube channels, learning about lighting before you spend a huge amount of money on just the camera lens and the camera itself. Definitely spend some of that hard-earned money on a good lighting setup, and you won't be disappointed. That's all I have for this Fuji Friday. The news was a little bit light, so I figured I'd switch it up and talk a little bit about camera lenses and lighting. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, definitely leave the comments below. Definitely let me know which image quality you like best, because I would love to hear it from you. I hope you're safe, I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next video.